At the turn of the 4th and 5th centuries AD, new conquerors arrived from the vast Eurasian steppes. These were the Sarmatian tribes, legendary warriors on horseback, who traveled west across the Caucasus Mountains, through forests and plains. And they were not alone. Alongside them marched their loyal companions, massive Molossian dogs, battle assistants, and guardians of the herds. It is these animals, born of the steppe, that would become the ancestors of one of the most unique dog breeds in history. A breed that would be named after its first owners, the Alano. Having settled on the Iberian Peninsula, the Sarmatian tribes soon assimilated into the local population. But their four-legged fighting companions remained. The Iberians, the ancient inhabitants of these lands, quickly appreciated the qualities of the powerful Molossian dogs. Strength, endurance, and loyalty, these were the traits sought by those guarding herds in the harsh mountainous regions of Castile and Extremadura. Here, far from civilization, in conditions of mountain isolation, the breed was formed. Century after century, the Alano dogs adapted to the Spanish lands, interbreeding with local dogs while preserving the ancient genes of their ancestors. Everything changed in the 15th century. The Spanish conquest demanded new instruments of war. Spanish kings and generals turned their attention to the powerful Alano dogs. Thus began the era of deliberate breeding of the breed. Breeders cultivated the most necessary qualities: enormous strength, indomitable power, and fighting skill. The Alano became the ideal weapon of the Spanish army. In the 15th and 16th centuries, they went into battle alongside the conquistadors, their names resounding on the battlefields. When Spanish conquistadors set sail across the ocean to the New World, they took their loyal canine companions with them. Alano dogs became part of the legend of the conquest of America. Spanish armies, armed with fire and steel, accompanied by powerful mastiffs, conquered uncharted lands. The contribution of these dogs to the history of the conquest is invaluable. They remain a symbol of Spanish greatness and military power of that era. And they did not disappear in the new continents, interbreeding with local dogs. They became the ancestors of new breeds. The 17th century brought a new purpose to the Alano breed. The Spanish bullfight, a sacred ritual of the fighting spirit of the Spanish people, saw powerful black bulls, wild bulls, confronting equally formidable Molossian dogs in the arena. This was neither hunting nor sport. It was a test of strength, courage, and fighting instinct. The Alano reached the zenith of its glory. The Spanish nobility, the king, the people, all revered these great dogs. Their names were remembered, they were written about, they were called living legends. This was the golden age of the Alano. But the greatest triumphs are followed by the greatest falls. In the 19th century, Europe is changing. New morals and new values replace the old ones. Animal baiting is declared barbaric. Spain introduces bans on cruel forms of hunting, on bullfighting with dogs, and on the fighting amusements of the aristocrats. The demand for Alanos plummets catastrophically. If once every Spanish estate boasted its pack of fighting mastiffs, now these dogs become unnecessary, forgotten. The breed rapidly disappears. By the end of the 20th century, only Jalkia remnants remain of the once majestic Alano dynasty. A few wild Russian breeds in the mountains, barely recognizable crossbreeds, and a scattered population in remote villages. But the story didn't end there. In the 1980s, heroes emerged, true enthusiasts, dog breeders for whom preserving the breed was not about money or fashion. They ventured into the remote mountainous regions of Extremadura, Castile, and the Encartations Valley. There, in their natural isolation, the true Alano dogs miraculously survived, genetically pure and morphologically unspoiled. A heroic effort to restore the breed began. Bloodlines were collected from different regions, and meticulous selective breeding was carried out. Every puppy was like a rescued treasure of ancient history. And so, in 1997, Spanish sinologists created the first modern standard for the Alano breed. After almost a century of oblivion, the breed received official recognition. The powerful, noble Alano dogs once again took their place in history. They became a symbol of Spanish cultural heritage, a living embodiment of the thousand-year history of the Iberian Peninsula. When you look into the eyes of a modern Alano, you see a reflection of ancient warriors, the Sarmatian steppes, the conquistador expeditions, and Spanish pride. This breed is not just a dog. It is a living legend, resurrected from the ashes of history, a reminder that greatness, once achieved, can be regained.